Souls who die by suicide often go to a specific energetic space, sometimes called a restoration plane. Here they receive emotional rehabilitation, energetic soothing, deep soul rest, healing of trauma carried from the lifetime, support to rebuild fractured parts of the soul field.
To learn the karma that somebody receives for taking a life, watch this video.
According to the Akashic records, what happens to the mind, body, and soul of a person that takes another life? Please give us a breakdown.
According to the Akashic records, when a person takes another life, 3 levels of their being are affected: the mind, the body, and the soul. The impact is immediate, multidimensional, and continues across lifetimes until healed or reconciled. This breakdown is not about punishment. It is about energetic consequence, soul entanglement, and spiritual accountability. Here is the full Akashic explanation. 1. What happens to the mind taking a life creates a shockwave in the psyche, even if the person appears emotionless afterward. The Akashic records show that the mind enters one of 3 states. A. Fragmentation. The human mind is not designed to hold the weight of taking a life. This can create dissociation, emotional numbness, cognitive dissonance, I'm not that person, memory suppression. A split forms between who they were and who they became in that moment. B. Hypervigilance. The person may become paranoid, alert to threat, spiritually or emotionally jumpy. This is the mind trying to outrun the karmic echo. C. Intrusive echoes. Even if the person feels justified, their mind may receive flashbacks, guilt or remorse, repeating thoughts of the event, nightmares. This is not mere psychology, it is the mind trying to process an energetic rupture. What happens to the body? The body registers the act as trauma, whether the act was intentional, impulsive, or reactive. Nervous system damage. The moment a life is taken, the killer's nervous system undergoes a shock. Fight or flight becomes chronically activated. Adrenal patterns shift, sleep cycles disrupt, heart and gut coherence destabilize. The body essentially enters a post-traumatic survival state. Increased density in the physical field. Akashically, a dark imprint forms in the auric field. This may manifest physically as heaviness in the chest, digestive issues, chronic fatigue, addiction tendencies to numb the guilt or fragmentation. C. Biofield constriction. The energy field tightens because the heart closes. The body becomes less capable of empathy, relaxation, receiving spiritual guidance. This creates long-term emotional and physical imbalance. What happens to the soul? This is the deepest and most long-lasting impact. The Akashic records show 3 things happen spiritually. Karmic entanglement forms. The soul of the killer becomes bound to the soul of the one who was killed. This does not mean eternal punishment, but it does mean a karmic thread now unites them. Future incarnations may involve role reversals. Opportunities for balancing, apology, or restitution arise later. This karmic connection remains until healed through service, remorse, or transformation. B. Soul light dims. The act of killing creates a distortion in the soul's frequency. This can manifest as loss of intuition, disconnection from spiritual guidance, feeling far from God, difficulty accessing higher timelines. The soul begins carrying the weight of a spiritual shadow that must eventually be faced. And C. A lesson path is triggered. The soul enters a curriculum of accountability, humility, empathy, healing, awakening. The universe is not revenge-based, but it is balance-based. To restore harmony, the killer's soul will eventually experience the pain they created, emotionally, spiritually, or through future lifetimes, seek opportunities to heal or serve, return to light through understanding, not punishment. This is why some killers later become peacekeepers, servants, monks, or healers. Their soul is trying to self-correct. The purpose, not condemnation, but correction. The Akashic records emphasize, open quote, "No soul is beyond redemption, but no act is beyond consequence." Close quote. Taking a life does not doom a soul, but it does place them on a long path toward healing, balance, and spiritual maturity. The healing often requires deep remorse, compassion awakening, service to others, making amends energetically, reincarnation experiences that cultivate empathy, reconnection to their own soul light. The soul must eventually feel what it caused in order to return to alignment. Final Akashic insight, open quote, When a soul takes life, a fracture forms. Healing is not punishment, it is the journey back into wholeness. Close quote. Everything that happens afterward, the guilt, the numbness, the karmic weaving, the future healing, is all the soul's attempt to return to its original purity.
According to the Akashic records, what happens spiritually to a soul that takes their own life? Please give us a breakdown.
According to the Akashic records, when a soul takes its own life, the event is not met with punishment, condemnation, or rejection from the divine. Instead, it is understood as a moment of overwhelmed consciousness, a collapse of emotional capacity, and a soul calling for relief from a vibration it could not hold. Spiritually, suicide is seen not as a moral failure, but as a soul crisis, and the aftermath is focused on healing, reintegration, and understanding, not judgment. Here is the full breakdown. Or 1. What happens in the moment of death? The soul is immediately received by guides. The Akashic records show that the soul is never left alone. As soon as it leaves the body, guides, ancestors, healing beings surround the soul with calm, compassion, and grounding energy. There is no hell, no punishment, no divine anger, only clarity and support. The soul often feels relief first when the soul exits the physical body. It is relieved from emotional pain, mental chaos, nervous system overload, trauma loops. This relief is not reward. It is simply the body's suffering releasing. But this relief is followed by a life review focused on emotional overload. The purpose of the review is not to shame the soul, but to help it understand what led to the breaking point, which wounds were unhealed, what support was missing, what choices felt impossible. The tone is compassionate, not punitive. The soul is shown its own pain, not to judge it, but to help it heal what could not be healed in the body. And 4, the soul enters a healing realm. Souls who die by suicide often go to a specific energetic space, sometimes called a restoration plane. Here they receive emotional rehabilitation, energetic soothing, deep soul rest, healing of trauma carried from the lifetime, support to rebuild fractured parts of the soul field. It is similar to a spiritual hospital for overwhelmed souls. No soul is stuck, but some need time. The soul is not doomed, but it often needs more time to heal before reincarnating, support to rebuild its emotional body, a rebalancing of the karmic threads connected to its life and relationships. This is not punishment, it is wholeness work. 6, karmic implications are gentle, not harsh. Suicide does not create bad karma. Instead, it creates incomplete lessons which the soul may choose to revisit in a gentler lifetime. Energetic imprints such as fear, hopelessness, or disconnection, which the soul works to transmute later. The soul may reincarnate into a life where it has stronger emotional support. It learns resilience in a more stable environment. It faces similar themes but with more tools and compassion. This is not punishment, is a chance to finish what was too painful to complete. How the soul feels after death. After healing, the soul often experiences A. Deep remorse, not guilt, but sadness that it couldn't stay longer, complete more, or express its true light. This remorse is gentle, not condemning. Understanding the soul sees clearly the pain it carried, the distortions in perception, the lack of self-love or support. C. Desire for growth. Most souls eventually want to return to Earth to continue the soul contract with more strength. 8. What the soul wants loved ones to know. Souls who died by suicide often send messages like, I wasn't weak, I was overwhelmed. I didn't want to die, I wanted the pain to stop. Please don't blame yourself. I'm healing of you. I'm still here. They want their loved ones to know they are safe, at peace, and not suffering in the way people fear. Final Akashic insight, open quote. A soul who ends their own life is not judged, they are held. Not punished, but restored. Not damned, but deeply loved. Close quote. The act of suicide is a signal of soul overwhelm, not spiritual failure. The aftermath is a journey of healing, remembrance, and return to light.
If you want to learn how to get your aura charged up like this, follow me for a second. My name is Tigo and I'm a mystic, and I've been training spirituality and meditation since 2010. I learned to access the healing energy field of Qi through long-sitting meditation. I traveled to China to further those practices and was truly blessed to be able to practice and study with Jiang Feng and a group of lay Buddhist monks. In my course, The Way of the Mystic, I teach how to open the heart, access your own healing potential, and align with the purpose that you set out for in this life and your soul. So if you want to access that, go to www.themindofbazel.com and book a consultation today or book the course. Much love to y'all. Peace.